Oh, this gonna be ghetto, but good afternoon, everybody. This is Young Zender coming live from Plainfield, New Jersey. And basically, today we're going to be talking about cryptocurrency market analysis, and we're going to be speaking about the Fed. So I'm not really sure what time the Fed meeting is coming on. I didn't look at CNN today. I chose to play the game, as you see in my background. I don't get time to play my game. I still got a PS4, and I am fine with it. However, I dive and put all my money into making businesses and making assets so I can be able to play the game all day. So, with that being said, I'm playing Watch Dogs 2. I'm almost done with it. Then I gotta finish Far Cry. It's a lot of games that I haven't played yet, so I'm gonna download them on that PlayStation 4 and get them done. But to go back to the topic at hand, we're going to be diving in cryptocurrency today. So I'm just going to bring you guys down here. If I'm looking up here, that's because that's where everything is viewing at, and I just want to make sure that everything you can see everything, so I don't have to do this twice. Okay, so as you know, I always start off with El Toro. Hope you guys are having a good day today. I mean, even still, I can turn it on. Let's see what's going on. See what's going on and with the Fed, what's going on in the market.
Fed Chair Jay Powell held rates steady. We had 10 straight hikes over 15 months, but signaled more rate hikes are likely this year. For more on this, let's bring in former Dallas Fed President Richard Fisher. He's now a senior advisor to Barclays and a CNBC contributor. Richard, thanks for joining us. Kind of headline talking. It was an overused expression, but there's something for everyone. There was a pause after 10 straight. Okay, so there's a potential for sitting back and letting things play out if there is a lag. But then again, for those people that think we need firm resolve in fighting inflation, there were the commentary about 2 more additional hikes. So
I'm gonna take
is it
myself
good to try to
off.
be everything to all people at the same time?
Well, first of all, I agree with the decision that was made. There's no surprise. Unless they feel they're getting there, they're going to continue to hold tight monetary policy. And if it gets possibly worse, then they have plotted out on the dot plot that they might raise 2 more times. But Joe, I like to say I'm a retired dot. I was a dot for as long as I was there after Ben Bernanke created the exercise. It's not a forecast. It's how you feel at the time. And I wouldn't put too much weight on that. I know the markets did immediately after they were released. But the key thing is what Powell said. And let me add too, I watched his body language. He didn't look at his notes once. He's very confident what he's saying. And I think that's an important signal to the marketplace. They're going to wait. They're going to see. We've got a lot of refinancing coming up here. We've also been getting some statements like Morgan Stanley yesterday saying they're not going to do any more commercial real estate new transactions. I think that's what they said. So we have to see what comes due, what matures. Rates are higher, obviously. We're in the fives. The thing that I also would comment on, the 10 years beginning to move, and all the way down in April to 3.3%. And now it's back up over 3.8. I wouldn't be surprised to see the rate increases move out the yield curve. That has implications for mortgages and for a lot of other financing. So I think they've done the right thing. I would have advocated, could have argued either side. I would have advocated for a pause. And then for him to say what he said, answering the questions especially, none of the questions, by the way, were surprising. He was firm. He said the right things. And they are totally devoted to getting back that 2% target. To me, that was the most important part of the press conference.
We're down 50% in the core. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Tell me if I'm wrong about this, Richard. And it's weird because, everything's political, and I think it's weird that a lot of people on what I consider the other side, the left side of the aisle, are very strident about further rate increases. Which almost makes me think that they're arguing that we did spend too much money, and that this is a result of debasing the currency. When I'm looking at it, and I'm not blaming that. I think it was the pandemic, and that when we reopen, all these things are happening now in the job market and the supply chain, but things are coming back to normal. And how long did we have those permanently low inflation rates? How long did Japan have it? How do we know we're not headed back to what used to be normal? And 5% will be plenty high for and normalized for rates. How do we know that? Why do all these people think that, like the same people that wanted to spend all the money now think we got a huge inflation problem because they've engendered all this inflation? Are they admitting it?
I don't hear that coming from that side of the aisle, but I don't care.
What do you hear?
Basically, if you listen to Elizabeth Warren, who's way over
Jason Furman, I can Roger Ferguson. Everybody wants to, thinks inflation is much worse, and I don't know where they think it's coming from.
I wouldn't put Roger on. Roger is a serious person, and he's a former vice chair.
Serious people. I'm not saying he's not serious. I'm serious, but I have my opinion.
It doesn't matter what these people think. The Fed has a duty. It was reiterated firmly yesterday. And as far as the politics is concerned, there is no political sensitivity at the FOMC, period. I never heard in years any discussion of that.
But you don't want to derail the economy if we're headed back to 2% anyway. If we're headed back to normal place anyway, you don't deliberately want to put people out of work to get to 4.5% or 5%.
We have high employment, the highest employment in ever. So this business about derailing the economy or going into a deep recession, if we're going to go into a recession, it's way, way out there. And again, that was reiterated yesterday. Look at the employment numbers. Take African-American women, for example. Highest employment in at least 20 years and probably in history. Highest employment, not unemployment. So every demographic category is fully employed. That gives the Fed a lot of room to sit here, hold, and very importantly, and this was addressed in the press conference, they're going to continue to reduce the balance sheet at a time when the Treasury is issuing over $1 trillion in debt to build up the capital account. To me, that doesn't indicate in any way, shape, or form that they're assisting this process. It's the Congress and fiscal policy that has to be corrected, and I hope they start getting that done.
I feel like the market's going to go down more. You're saying that's crazy. So based on
obviously deciding to leave interest rates unchanged, that was a move that was very widely expected by the street. But despite the pause, the Fed chair, Jay Powell, struck a very hawkish tone, saying that 2 more hikes are likely to come this year, and cuts are a couple of years out. Not going to happen this year, he said, for sure. Joining us right now to break down the Fed's latest move is Roger Ferguson. He is former vice chairman of the Federal Reserve and a CNBC contributor. And Roger, not only Powell's comments yesterday, but the dot plot show that the Fed thinks that they are going to see 2 more rate hikes this year. The market doesn't seem to be buying that, at least not yet. We saw a temporary drop in futures and lots of other assets as people thought, okay, this is much more hawkish than we thought. But as Powell talked, a lot of that recovered. What do you think? Are they telling the truth?
I think they are telling the truth. You may recall I was on.
But it's a money grab.
I thought I could see the possibility of 2 more hikes. That seems to be what they think as well. I think the expectation that they have 2 more hikes is driven by the other statement that Powell made that has been said several times, which is that core inflation is very sticky. And so you saw them mark up their expectations for core inflation. That I think is the basis of their expectation for 2 more hikes. They clearly think they have more work to do.
And in terms of what they see with the core inflation, all of them seeing higher rates, I guess the question becomes, how set are they on getting this down to 2% immediately?
They're set to get it down to 2% eventually, and you saw that in their forecast. The 2% is not to be questioned at this stage, and I think you heard Powell refer to the 2% target several times. So he wants to put away the thought that they have a secret desire to keep it at a different number. And I think the other thing that
So that's it's going down. Like, I'm expecting more pullback. So what I'm gonna recommend is everybody buy the dips. Buy the dips, load up on all the crypto, stock market, all the stuff that you like, love. Load up on it. Because he's saying it's gonna go higher. So that, in my opinion, that means that it's the way I'm comprehending it what that mean is more selling. Like, people are going to be scared, panic selling. But as you heard, she said as he was talking, things was going up. So what's going to happen right now is people are buying it, bing, then they're going to pull out. Oh, thank you for my money. And it's also trading time. So between 10 and 11, 12 o'clock, that's when traders are in the market. After 12 o'clock, traders are not in the market. So with that being said, guys, I hope you found this valuable. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I didn't go over any cryptocurrency charts today because I wanted to focus on the Fed to see what was going to happen. I couldn't get my login, my sister's login, to go in there, so I have to contact her to get that login from my computer. However, next time, listen, all you have to do is start to watch CNBC and listen to the manipulation. A lot of people will tell you to stay away from it, but once you don't have your emotions inside of it, you'll be able to learn more from them by the manipulation than doing what they say. So with that being said, guys, I see you at the top.